Quality sucks. I know, right? Quality sucks. Like, what the hell, man? What the hell, man? You're my baby shoot, man. My DPS. Oh, like juicy bullshit. Okay, what? What happened?
Quit following me. The wind rises.
Cheers to goggles. Like, what the hell? I'm not being true, man. What? No fucking way. Where's the party? Where's the party?
Go! Huh? Looks like we're a few people short today.
Yeah.
Morning, friends. Singcho said he wants to take some time and focus on writing poems, so he'll join us later.
Noelle has other duties today, so she asked me to tell everyone not to wait up for her.
Okay, well, never mind. What about Kelly Roy, though? She said she'd be here. I got here really early, but I haven't seen her yet.
Are you talking about the girl with the blue hair? I saw her on the bridge near Dihua Marsh during my morning training. She looked a little upset, so I didn't want to disturb her.
Upset? Oh no! What should we do? Was it something we said last night? Oh, Paimon's worried.
I agree. If she's run into some kind of trouble, I'd like to help her.
You're all going? Then I'm coming too.
Shall we start with the bridge? We're all here a little early, so there should be time.
Good idea. We'll be back in a jiffy.
So where is the sanitary?
The wind rises.
Oh, so this is the place? We ran into her here yesterday, too. She looked like something was weighing on her mind then as well.
It's also not far from where we were dropping those leaves.
Huh. Leaves?
Oh, right. We were so busy matching couplets we forgot to mention.
Interesting. I wonder, could Miss Callie Roy have been the one who wrote that poem on the leaf?
Oh, yeah.
What makes you say that?
Oh, sorry. Nothing. Well, nothing concrete. Just a hunch, I guess. It's just, that poem on the leaf kinda gave me the same feeling as when I saw her yesterday. So much sadness.
Now that you mention it, this is upstream from where we found the poem.
Huh? Hey, look! Over there! Another leaf! Wow, you're right! And this one has writing on it too! After that leaf!
Squall and Fury.
Oh, why does it have to float so quickly?
It's too shallow. What the fuck? That's dumb as fuck. It's shallow water.
Behold!
How do you just drop over the water? Just shallow water. And
Quit following me.
Wipe out!
oh my god, my connection sucks ass. Yeah, I'm not using any internet connection. I'm ass download, so what the fuck?
Water jet!
Squall and Fury.
It stopped.
No!
Okay.
We finally caught it.
Are the words still legible? Or have they been washed out?
Looks like the ink's intact. Let Paimon take a look at what it says. Huh? This is related to the poem we wrote in reply yesterday. She must have picked up one of our leaves. Spring. Young boy. It's looking a lot like Callie Roe was the one who wrote this. She seems to care a lot about that story, huh? Actually, when Paimon first saw her, Paimon was wondering, do you think... is it possible that she's,
Based on the current and accounting for wind strength, everyone, please follow me. This should be far enough upstream. Let's split up and search the area.
Callie Roe! Callie Roe!
Too slow. Wretched vermin!
Oh, I got a goblin. The fuck? Do another one.
Behold! following me.
Squall and Fury.
Oh my god, there's shitty trolls here.
Ah! She's surrounded by hilly churros! Let's go save her!
Oh no.
The wind rises.
Up, away. Shit.
Think you can get away? Wouldn't gliding the... Go!
Swirl.
Callie Roe, are you okay? What's that? It's a huge water droplet.
This is exactly what I saw the other day.
Huh? Why are you all looking at me like that? Oh no, my body, is it?
That voice is definitely Callie Roy's.
How did this happen? Please wait a moment. Oh no, did I use up too much energy?
How did you... What's going on here? Miss Callie Roe, are you some kind of adeptus?
No, I'm so sorry for deceiving you all for so long. Actually, I'm an Oceanid who flowed here from Fontaine long ago.
What's an Oceanid?
Ah, the Grandmaster has mentioned them before. The Oceanids were the familiars of the former Hydro Archon. They all fled Fontaine after the Archon died and settled across the world.
That's correct. Though, to tell you the truth, I can't even completely recall how I found myself here. I have a vague impression of my ancestral home, but I can't recall clearly anything I saw on my journey. All I know is that by the time I arrived in Mondstadt, I had lost most of my power and couldn't even sustain a physical form. Eventually, I settled in a place called Springvale, where I slowly began to regain my power. Springvale is a serene and beautiful place. The water that flows through there is clear and pure, just like the hearts of the people who dwell there. So you're the Spring Fairy of Springvale? Yes, Diona, and I remember you too, you know. When you were little, you often came to the spring at night to speak with me. Really? You're not messing with me, are you?
I always thought that was just a local legend.
Your favorite little pillow, the fish one? Its name is Bubbles, is it not? Yep! All those childhood memories. So they weren't just a dream. So, if this is true, then all those things written on the leaves... I see. So you were the ones who found my leaf. Well, you are correct. The Spring Fairy and Heart of Clear Springs is me. No wonder you were asking us so many questions about it. So, the boy from the story... is Finch. I always loved listening to people's dreams, and still do to this day. Whether they're beautiful, sad, or filled with emotions I couldn't understand at the time. One night, a little boy came to the spring.
The tears that fell from his face were more fragile than a moonbeam, and purer than the morning dew. I like humans, and wanted to understand them better. I also wanted to make sense of the feelings contained in his tears that were, then, a mystery to me. Yes, we often met under the stars, sharing our stories with one another. Sometimes, we'd stay up all night and see who would hear the first bird chirping from the boughs, or the first cicada of summer.
Aw, that sounds lovely.
But one day, just like the book says, I saw an emotion in Finch's eyes that I couldn't reciprocate. I felt out of my depth, in uncharted waters. But I knew all too well that we Lockfolk face a very different fate from that of humans. Whatever was happening, I didn't want it to lead to Finch writing a chapter of his life that he would later come to regret. So, I fled, and never appeared before him again.
Oh, Callie.
My strength returns very slowly, and even after decades, I can only sustain a physical form for a very short time. I once hoped that Finch would be able to move on, and meet me when the stars in the night sky have all gone out. But after seeing so many people's stories, and hearing about all their dreams, I have gradually come to understand Finch's heart. This feeling of wanting to respond to his feelings is surging relentlessly in my chest, and I can no longer restrain it. But I'm also scared. Scared that if I go and see him now, I'll bring nothing but disappointment, and even more pain when it comes time to part.
Oh.
It really is a difficult choice.
Please go see him.
Huh?
I know Grandpa Finch, and he's a really kind person. When I was struggling to learn how to draw maps, he was always encouraging me, telling me not to give up, always keep trying, and get out there and have some adventures. He often tells me stories about his past, but I've never once seen a look of regret or sadness in his face. And even though Grandpa Finch loves adventures, he still stands there by the spring every day, as if he's waiting for something. I believe that he's serious about his feelings for you, Miss Callie Roe. He's never stopped hoping that he'll see you again one day. So if you want to see him too, then what are you waiting for? Huh? Sorry. I think I got a bit too excited and I just thought... Well, it just sort of came out.
I understand. That settles it. I've decided. I will go back and see Finch.
You will? Amazing! That's great!
But I'd like to ask all of you for some help.
Sure. Just say the word. We'll help you any way we can.
Would you come to Springvale with me and help to bring Finch to my side? I cannot maintain this form for much longer, and I'm worried others will see me how I was just before.
Leave it to me. I'm really close with Grandpa Finch.
Also, please keep Finch's in my secret. I wouldn't want Springvale's tranquil waters to become agitated on account of all this.
Your secret is safe with me.
I won't tell anyone. That's a promise.
Great. I can't thank you all enough.
What's wrong? Are you gonna turn back into a water droplet?
No, I'm sorry. It's just that my mind's racing. As much as I want to talk to him again, I'm still worried that I won't have the words when the time comes. A poem? Okay, good idea. I'll write him a poem. And it will be called Heart of Clear Springs.
You're so happy just to see the sun again. How childish.
Behold!
Are you okay?
It's nothing. I'm just scared that I won't be able to maintain this form much longer.
Okay, don't panic. Wait here, Callie Roe. I'll go fetch Grandpa Finch.
Take it slow, Diona. Finch isn't a young man anymore. He's not as steady on his feet. I can still hold on a bit longer.
Okay, stay strong. You can do it.
The wind rises.
Grandpa Finch!
Is that Diona? You're back early today.
Today's your special day, Grandpa Finch. Can you come with me?
Oh? Well, where are we going?
Over there, to the waterfall.
Did you catch a nice little fishy?
Just come with me already. This is extremely important.
But I promised your father that I'd go to...
Grandpa Finch!
All right. All right. No need to get worked up. I'm right behind you.
That's more like it. Now come on, I'll help you.
Draft's daughter is just like him when she's on a mission.
What happened there?
Over here! Over here! It's okay, Grandpa Finch. Take your time.
What's all this? What are all these people doing here? Even Mika's here? How's work been going lately? And even some friends from abroad, if I'm not mistaken. You do know that today's not my birthday, don't you?
Greetings, Mr. Finch. My name is Chong Yun. We all met at the poetry gala, and... well, there's someone we'd like to introduce you to.
Finch.
That voice. Callie Roe.
I didn't think you'd still remember.
Oh, I remember. I remember all right. How could I ever forget? Although your appearance is different than I recall. Back then, you looked like you'd stepped right out of a fairy tale. But I'm one to talk. Of course a fairy from a fairy tale can change forms. But in your eyes, I'm probably the one who's changed beyond all recognition.
Oh, even after all these years, you still know just what to say to make me laugh.
I thought you were only able to appear in the dead of night. There have been times when I've wondered whether it really was all a dream.
Huh.
I'm sorry I kept you waiting for so long, Finch.
Oh, it can't have been that long. It's been but the blink of an eye, really.
Finch, would you like to hear a poem I wrote for you?
A poem? You write poetry now? Well, of course. I'd be delighted to listen. I'll hang on every word that leaves your lips.
In that case, let me read you a story about the Spring Fairy.
Oh.
Far from my native land I roamed. In streams I slept, many seasons I met as the sun set and rose. I searched for a garden to call a home, and the moonlight ebbed as the water flowed. A soft breeze beckoned me unto a spring. Sleep, weary wanderer, your journey is over. May the dancing petals sweeten your slumber. At dawn, I hummed the melody of a distant stream, and the songs in the night serenaded my dreams. A boy's tender tears trembled through the water, stirring me more than any starlight sonata. He wove me a wreath from past petals and future buds. I crossed beyond the veil of dreams to the realm of flesh and blood. Look at the love that shines from his eager gaze. Answer the call of his heart, lest this moment go to waste. The kittens and fireflies invited my heartstrings to sing, but I was a stranger to the melody of mankind, and knew not how this tune should begin. As the river of dreams trickled into the ocean blue, every time a crystal fly flapped its wings, older it seemed he grew. But I learned to fathom human ways each stumbling step I took, and clouds of confusion became crystal clear in the vulnerable verse I wrote. As seed yearns for soil and trees for the sun, a once foreign melody inside my heart sung, and it cried out your name on every string it could strum. Now I give my dream to you. May it be in your slumber a sweet spring to quench your thirst. Now, I hand my heart to you, praying my belated promise might meet, still with your trust.
Yes. This is how I remember you from when we first met. All those years ago. It really has been a long, old time.
Another oceanic.
Hasn't it?
Finch,
It's okay. I understand. Your poem, it explains everything.
Thank you, Finch. Please, take this.
It's so beautiful.
This is a droplet of water condensed from my own power. Finch, I don't have a physical form like humans, and I can't stay by your side. I don't know how long it'll be before I can change back into human form again. But as long as this droplet remains with you, our hearts will always be connected, no matter the distance between us. I will always be one with the spring. From this day onwards, if you call me, I will meet you in your dreams.
It's so romantic.
You've really learned a lot, haven't you? And you don't even mind that the kids are watching.
Does it bother you?
How could it possibly? This is the happiest moment of my life. I just worry that once I go to sleep, I won't ever want to wake up again.
Huh? Don't say that.
I'm only joking. It seems that you still have much to learn.
Is that right?
Grandpa Finch and Kelly Rowie look so happy. Oh, what a perfect moment.
Diona, thank you for fetching Finch for me. I've never forgotten you either.
I used to chat with you a lot. Wasn't it ever annoying?
Of course not. You are one of the truest friends I have in the entire world. That's why I gave you your gift, so that a part of me could always be with you.
Huh?
Wait. So is Diona's ability to mix delicious drinks from disgusting ingredients a blessing from this water spirit? And if so, is it also possible that my pure yang spirit is a gift from some being?
My physical form is about to disappear. Finch,
Yes?
I've never regretted meeting you or deciding to talk to you that night. Not once. All these long years. Not for a single moment.
It probably goes without saying, but neither have I.
Although, it was different from in the stories. That fateful night, I never gave you that kiss. This gift that represents my promise and my love. I give it to you now.
Hmm?
It's okay, everyone. She's gone now.
What? But Paimon didn't get a chance to say goodbye. Grandpa Finch.
Don't worry now. She hasn't gone far. Just like she said, she'll always be one with the spring. By our side and in our dreams.
Oh? Hey, you're all back! And it looks like you're in much better spirits than before. Hootow's a step ahead. She's already talking about printing a poetry anthology. She said she can't wait for everyone's final words because I'm itching to pull the trigger. By which I assume she meant she eagerly anticipates receiving everyone's freestyle poetry submissions to help her close the deal.
Where have you all been? I've been waiting here forever.
Perhaps they lacked sufficient inspiration and wished to have an emergency communion with nature. And with any luck, I'll bet they heard some fine poetry along the way.
Code that far! Does this mean that right from the start you... Oh, right from the start, you said you would treat us to a nice meal!
Huh? Did I? Very well. Since the Traveler agrees, then it looks like I can't escape this time. Diona! Dear Diona, could I trouble you to fix us a couple of your delicious beverages?
You wish. All right. Well, normally I'd never agree, but since I happen to be in a good mood today...
Huh? So, just what have you guys been up to all this time? Why does it feel like there are some unspoken words hanging in the air here that everyone is privy to but myself?
Really? It must be the breeze. You're reading way too much into it.
Yeah, that's right. We're just, taking a walk. Inspiration walk, since it worked so well last time.
So even Mika's in on it? Chongyun, how about you tell me what happened on the sly? I've just remembered that I heard about a haunted house recently that you'll definitely want to check out. I'm willing to bet that even your pure Yang spirit won't be able to scare off these demons.
I appreciate the gesture, but no thanks. Not this time. And I'm starting to think that maybe this pure Yang spirit isn't such a bad thing after all.
Huh? What the? What's gotten into you? Okay, that confirms it. I call shenanigans. Something big definitely went down here.
Huh. God, I'm having a dick in the curb.
Add Ash. Thank you for complete. Add Ash. As per our contract.
Oh, I can't find anything. I gotta go straight first. And then...
Look, Mondstadt's windmills. Ah, such a comforting sight. Now, as promised, your souvenir. Here you go. According to the merchant I bought it from, mysterious spirits called Jinn often live in lamps like this. And this lamp in particular once housed a very powerful genie. Merchants love to exaggerate to help make a sale, but it's still quite the pretty little lamp. I know you like rare things, so perhaps you can add this to your collection. Of course, you can also use it as an ordinary pot. Personally, I think it'd make an excellent wine vessel. You're welcome. I'm glad you like it. I'm ready to head into the city now. You're free to join me, or you can make your own schedule. I could give everyone their souvenirs first, but I'm not sure whether I'm in the mood for running around and visiting people right after the long journey. Maybe I'll take a breather first. But I know I'll only get bored sitting in my room alone. Ugh. Do you have any suggestions? I'm honored to have such a caring friend. Let's go to the plaza in front of the cathedral. We can listen to the bards playing or feed the pigeons. After so long in Sumeru, I've begun to miss that slow-paced and relaxed atmosphere. There's no rush. We can take our time and stroll on over.
Hey, birds. Oh yeah. Another one.
Port Ormos is always lively, even late into the night. People there go to bed much later than I imagined. Quite a stark contrast with Mondstadt. People pray and play music in the cathedral plaza during the day, but come nighttime, the streets are deserted except for the knights on patrol. Good question. Life in Sumeru is never dull. Last time I was out drinking on the street at night, some passing mercenaries invited me to dance. Although, I did learn later that that kind of thing is highly unusual even there. They must have been in a very good mood that night. They taught me a lot of songs that they usually sing during feasts. It really was a fun night. But be that as it may, I think I'm more suited to the free and easy life in Mondstadt. Simple, honest folks like me, we don't need much to be content. Fair enough. Let's shelve that discussion for now. Have you ever had a chance to hear the cathedral choir before? The hymns they sing are a whole tradition in their own right. Quite different from the folk songs that the bards play. Well, let's see if we can catch them today. Sister Grace is right there, so we can ask her about the choir's schedule. Excuse me, Sister Grace. Does the church choir have any performances coming up soon?
Oh, I'm so sorry. The hymn concert we previously announced has unfortunately been pushed back.
Oh? What's the story there?
As you probably know, Captain Kaya, we've been trying to organize an amateur choir in addition to the regular church choir.
Ah, yes. I heard about that. I believe the plan was ultimately to have different choirs who can take turns to perform hymn concerts.
Yes, exactly. Well, it turns out there are plenty of believers who are good singers and interested in joining a choir. So, in theory, it should have been a simple case of getting everyone in the same room, then practice, practice, practice. But, for some reason, the rehearsals are going terribly. I don't understand it. Everyone in the choir has a basic level of musical literacy, but they sound awful together. It's like everyone's trying to do their own thing. There's no group harmony. Maybe I'm just not musically gifted enough to give them the guidance they need. Captain Kaya, I know you like listening to hymns. How good is your understanding of vocal music?
Me? Music is far from my forte. But if you need some help, then don't worry. I know an expert who's more than up to the task.
Thank you so much, Captain Kaya. Having some expert guidance will definitely be a great help.
I'm sure you've figured out who this expert is already. He has the best singing voice of any poet in Mondstadt, and understands poetry better than any other singer. Plus, he's exceptionally easy to find. 9 out of 10 times, he's in the tavern.
Venti? There's Venti. Gotta hunt some shit. Now I got 7 weapons. Shit.
Squall of Fury.
Good day. Drinking alone? I hope you don't mind us joining you.
Hello, hello! Please, take a seat. We're all friends here.
Patton, 1 moonlit alley and an apple cider.
Ooh, excellent choices. Come on, let's have a toast and drain our glasses together. Here's to the time spent drinking with friends, which is more unforgettable than the drinks are delectable.
Ever the poet, Professor Venti. A beautiful toast from the bard with the most. Any new songs of yours we could listen to? There's a real dearth of quality entertainment at the moment, since the cathedral's choir performance has been delayed again. Speaking of which, I trust you've heard Sister Grace's choir perform before?
Of course! Though the format is a little on the formal side, they do sing quite beautifully. Very pleasant to listen to.
So you'd say you enjoy listening to hymns?
Let me think. Well, however it's expressed, as long as you can hear the singer's passion and joy in their voice, I consider it a phenomenal performance.
Passion and joy, huh? An intriguing perspective. By this logic, I suppose Lord Barbados would also enjoy the choir's performances.
Oh? And why is that?
Think about it. It's only because of his patient guidance and protection that the people of Mondstadt can now sing such beautiful hymns in the cathedral. It must be quite satisfying for him to hear a joyful people lift up their voices in song.
Yes, well, that's a beautiful image filled with hope. But actually, maybe Barbados himself doesn't give it so much thought. In principle, the hymns of the cathedral are dedicated to a god. But in reality, the audience are all ordinary people with very worldly concerns. So what really matters is that the people enjoy what they're listening to.
If Sister Grace was able to see things that way, perhaps she wouldn't feel so distressed.
Huh? Distressed? About what? Ugh, she might be asking a bit too much. To be honest, if they have a natural talent for music, they should just be allowed to sing whatever they want. It'll all sound good. I'm pretty sure the first people to sing songs to the Animo Archon weren't all singing the same tune. Besides, he is the god of freedom. Surely he'd prefer to hear Mondstadters sing their hearts out however comes naturally to them.
Well, to each their own, I say. But Sister Grace seems quite bothered by the whole thing. If only a kind soul with a deep understanding of poetry and music could help her. Patton?
More drinks?
Uh-oh. I only brought enough money for one bottle today. I'll have to pass.
Another bottle of apple cider for Venti, please, Patton. My treat.
Wow! Thanks, Kaya. You are one of the finest students ever to emerge from my fast-track love poetry class. I always did admire your enthusiasm and kindness. With the aid of this bottle, a humble bard's woes are whisked away on the wind. And so it falls to this humble bard to pass the blessing on to another.
Then this is probably the single most worthwhile alcohol purchase I've ever made. With your help, Sister Grace's problems are as good as solved. Sister Grace is a devout follower of the Animo Archon. Perhaps it's her depth of devotion that causes her to worry too much about the smallest things.
Don't worry. Just wait a moment. I'll go find her. Right after I finish this cider. The next time you visit her, our sweet sister shall be sad no more. Kaya is a wily character, but 3 wine is always the most delicious. It's fine. I mean, the church's choral hymns aren't exactly my strong suit, what with all the finicky formalities and so on. But as long as there is love for music in the air, I'm sure I'll be able to help. Hey, if I'm happy and Sister Grace is happy and the audience is happy, that's a great thing, isn't it?
The wind rises.
Behold!
Hello, Sister Grace. How are the rehearsals going?
Captain Kaya, your bard friend has a few suggestions that are somewhat fanciful in nature.
Fanciful in the sense of not worth adopting? Is that what you mean? Everyone in the choir loves to sing, but they're used to singing their favorite songs. Suddenly asking them to sing in perfect harmony like a church choir with years of experience is just too difficult. So, why ask them to adjust to the demands of those staid old church hymns when you could just create a new song for them? One that they'll be able to grasp quickly? If you want, I could help.
Church choirs typically stick to traditional hymns. This is certainly an innovative idea. What's stopping you from considering it, Sister Grace?
While I don't expect a recently established amateur choir to perform on par with our own church choir, this would be a major departure from tradition. I'm just not convinced that it's appropriate.
Is the Church of Favonius really such a stickler for tradition? Giving believers the chance to express themselves freely seems like it would be a very positive thing. So Venti, do you think the Animo Archon would like to hear a new melody?
Of course! This was the wish of the people when New Mondstadt was first founded.
Okay, well let's see what our other friend thinks. Traveler, what are your thoughts? Another vote of confidence. Maybe there's hope for this idea yet.
Maybe it's just a generational thing, but... Oh, well, it's not a completely unreasonable idea. I suppose it can't hurt to try.
Looks like we're all in favor then. So let's start preparing. Sister Grace, could we trouble you to inform the choir members?
Of course. I'll tell them now, and then we'll give this a try.
Should we find some people to help us compose the lyrics? If this is to be a new song of the people, then the more fresh ideas we have, the better.
Good idea. Let's split up and find some contributors, Traveler. Let me think. Since we're composing a song, we should try and recruit at least one person who understands music. Aha, I know. Sister Grace, how would you feel about us asking Sister Barbara to provide her input?
Given that the idea is to write a song dedicated to Lord Barbados, I'm sure Sister Barbara would be very willing.
Perfect. Traveler, why don't you head into the cathedral and invite Sister Barbara to join us? I'll look for another friend who's interested in helping us.
It's not free though.
Got it! With this melody, it'll be much more expressive.
Too slow. The wind rises.
Let the wind lead. Traveler, it's been a long time since I last saw you in the cathedral. Please, don't be shy. Go right ahead. Oh, I see. What an interesting idea. The hymns we know today have been passed down to us through the ages. Very few people would ever think to create a new one. But as long as we put our hearts into it, and write with reverence and devotion, perhaps our new song can become part of the tradition that is passed on, and bring joy to future generations. I never imagined that the Bard would come up with such an amazing suggestion. I'd really love to be a part of this. Sure. Let's go there together right now.
Oh, not donation. Nah.
Behold!
I was pressing this button.
Ah, you're here.
What are you doing here?
You took your sweet time. Psh, I've seen Kaya play Genius Invocation TCG, making up a bunch of baloney to distract his opponents. He's a trickster, plain and simple. So now, I gotta check with you guys to see if what he's saying is true. Can we really write about anything we want in this song? Even the evils of Mondstadt's wine industry? And is the choir really gonna perform it publicly? So everyone on the streets will hear it?
I can guarantee he won't.
Yeah.
Then I wanna write this. All these hounds will be punished harshly by Lord Barbados.
That's a very novel idea indeed.
I'm used to just humming to myself while I work. So after Sister Grace criticized us for not singing in harmony, I was planning on quitting the choir. I never thought we'd be able to just sing what we wanted. What a relief.
Plus, we get to write a song with Sister Barbara. I'm so honored!
Thank you, everyone. Why don't we start by picking a theme for this song?
I agree. Traditionally speaking, the theme should be Praise be to the gentle and loving Lord Barbados.
I expect that Professor Venti might feel that topic is overdone and lacks originality, and that it may not be to Lord Barbados's liking.
That's Gaia for you. Got it in one. I'd suggest that everyone start by thinking of the little things in life that bring you joy.
Ooh, well then can I praise the perfect fish head soup my mom cooked last night?
Of course you can.
I think I'd like to rejoice in the precious days spent together with family.
Let us praise Mondstadt, the city that allows us to sing freely.
See? Already we have lots of wonderful ideas. Let's write them down. And then Kaya can... huh? Kaya?
The wind rises.
Okay, everyone. Write your ideas down once you've got something. And then we'll open it up for a group discussion.
I think the song should express the joy of being together with family. Should I write about fish head soup or Leeward grilled fish?
Every course of action has its risks. The legend of the Dark Knight hero. An interesting rumor. The land of Mondstadt, by the Animo Archon's grace, is bountiful. I see no need for the harvest forecasts of astrologers. Grandmaster Varka. While I understand his disposition, I can make no sense of his actions. I've said too much already. I've long since left the Knights of Favonius. Forget I said anything.
You think I've got a sharp tongue? I just tell it like it is. If someone can't Behold! What are you doing here? Didn't want to participate in the discussions? I just wanted to take you to hear a performance. But that obviously didn't happen, thanks to the problems with the choir rehearsals. The rehearsals are now back on track, so I've done my part. If I stay here any longer, I'll probably get roped into singing with them. I'd rather it didn't come to that. My songwriting abilities are limited. If doing nothing but loitering on the plaza enjoying the scenery all day is the only way to relax, then I suppose I didn't get to relax. But that would get boring after a while. To me, it's more fun to wander around, see what's happening, and insert myself into interesting situations. Besides, can you be so sure I didn't have something to gain from helping Sister Grace with her choir rehearsal dilemma these past few days?
Oh, I spy two naughty students skipping class. And they just so happen to be the very two who asked me to help Sister Grace in the first place. We're ready to review and discuss everyone's lyric contributions now. Hey, why is it that you look like you're trying to run away?
I still recall the teachings of Professor Venti. The Animo Archon cares not about how moving the people's songs of praise are, but rather whether or not the song comes from the heart. With so many true believers gathered together earnestly writing a song for him, I'm sure the Animo Archon is watching on and feels very satisfied. That's what a song of worship is all about. So, mission accomplished.
And that's the reason you've decided to leave?
Slipping away before the final verse is sung, before the poet has uttered the last line, before everything has concluded. I don't know. Something about it just resonates with me. Oh no. You've seen right through me.
Wow, that was a craftily crafted speech. I almost fell for it. But to share all this with a group of friends, only to find myself one friend short before the final verse is sung, before the poet has uttered the last line, before everything has concluded, I don't know. Something about it just irritates me. If you don't want to write a poem, then let me gift you one. Abandoned to whatever fortune the cruel waters bring, bereft of control, directionless I swim. The swift currents surge, and onward I urge, through the snow and frost that fall and winter bring. Majestic waves cresting, surf roaring its tail, none but the ocean to hear as I sing. The stars in my eyes as I chart toward the horizon, that into one day from the endless dome of night I shall spring. If you are a chaser of freedom, the Animo Archon will bless you. So why not let those feelings out and sing with everyone?
A boat that has come unmoored will not get lost in the night, but sail towards the dawn. A beautiful image.
Of course, you don't have to believe in it, but the winds of Mondstadt will guide every lost ship back to safe harbor.
Well, after a fine poem like that, it would be plain rude of me not to rejoin you.
Let's head back together. You two, of all people, have to be there for the grand finale.
Rises.
Here is the tape, people. Tape. That one, small one.
Where?
That one, small one. Tape.
Ah, wait.
The other one.
Hello.
Squall and Fury.
Gundafar, we are in the middle of a war. Your place is at the front lines by my son's side. Pray tell, what provokes your unwarranted return to the palace?
A matter of utmost importance, Your Majesty. Such that I must personally report it to you.
Huh. Outdoor theater. Looks fun. Actually, yes. I saw some guards do a musical performance when I was traveling with their caravan in Sumeru. They were desert dwellers. So are these actors. and I think I actually recognize one of them. Come on, let's go watch.
Your Majesty, not only has God bestowed the throne upon you, but your beloved son, Prince Kubad, has led our brave warriors to victory against Frasyav's army. His men have laid down their arms and fled. Frasyav's brazen ambition is no more. He has bowed his head and now presents to your Majesty an offering of treasures and hostages, as well as a plea for peace. My king, this battle has finally restored the dignity of our people. Moreover, with Frasyav's offer of land comes the opportunity to expand our borders, as your Majesty so greatly wishes. His Highness the Prince and I believe this peace settlement will be a great boon to our nation. It is for this reason alone that I have removed my armor and made haste back to our halls from the front lines. My king, what say you to this proposal?
Ah, it's the tale of Prince Kubad. Ever heard this one? Don't worry, I still remember the general plot. Let me fill you in on the background while the king deliberates. The main characters are the brilliant Prince Kubad and his war-hungry father, King Kabus. The one talking to the king right now is Gundafar, the prince's tutor. When the prince was young, the king was deceived by a malicious rumor that the prince had mistreated his stepmother. He demanded that the prince walk through a blazing fire to prove his innocence. Miraculously, the prince emerged unscathed, thus proving his innocence. But the seeds of doubt had already been sown in the king's mind. Now uneasy in the presence of his mistrustful father, the prince requested to be sent away to the battlefield where he would fight against Frasyav's army. That's the enemy general we heard them mention just now. This is the part where the prince has won the war and decided to forge a peace with the rival nation. He wrote a letter recommending peace to his father. Oh, it looks like the king's made up his mind. Let's keep watching.
Frasyav lost because he did not have the blessing of God. Our God will always watch over us and punish our enemies. Once the bells of war have begun to toll, they shall not cease until the blood of our enemies fills the land. There can be no victory until the last enemy soldier has fallen. If Kubad still wishes to be my son and hold the intaglio I bestowed upon him as proof of his royal blood, then he must obey my command.
Your Majesty, I must caution that a nation destroyed is not a fallen city writ large. Now, the loss of one city strikes fear into the hearts of our enemies, compelling them to accept defeat and cede land in exchange for peace. If, however, we insist on bringing a whole nation to its knees, then so long as a single person is left standing, they will see us as their sworn enemy, and one day return to us tenfold the pain that we have inflicted on their nation and family. My king, a people is to their nation as wild grass to the open prairie. Though we burn down the whole field and spare not one blade of grass, roots continue to grow unseen beneath the surface. Come the spring, it is all but inevitable that fresh green shoots will rise up from the ashes.
Cease, Gundafar. Your mind grows dull in your old age, filled with naive delusions. We shall have no more need of you on the battlefield. As for my son Kubad, I will summon him back to the capital, so he may be tried by a court-martial.
What are you saying, my noble king? Why must you mistrust your own flesh and blood, and sink ever deeper into the blight of hatred? When he was falsely accused, you once doubted his honor, and made him walk through a raging fire. Did he not prove himself worthy by emerging unharmed from the flames? Now you would turn me away, when I seek only to provide the wisdom of counsel. What is the justification for this?
The justification is that my word, not yours, is the law of the land. Cease and be gone, Gundafar, so you may spend the rest of your days with your wife.
What has become of the king that I served with my life? Fanaticism has robbed him of all reason and wisdom. Peace is surely the most favorable path for our nation, yet he refuses to accept it.
I must think of a way to seize control of the army back from the hands of my wayward son, that they might continue the fight to the end. Perhaps the first task should be this. I shall send a loyal contingent of warriors to eliminate Frosiyov and the hostages he has sent to our palace.
Brilliant acting, Darbil.
I saw you approaching us in the middle of the scene. I was worried that my performance would be subpar and you'd think I was just making a fool of myself.
Not at all. Far from it. Actually, let me introduce you. This is Darbil, the actor for King Caboose. When we first got to know each other, he was still a guard for one of the merchant caravans. Seems like he's now made the switch to full-time acting.
Nice to meet you. Any friend of Kaya's is a friend of mine. To be perfectly honest, I wasn't making all that much as a mercenary. It felt right to me to get away from the danger and live a more stable life. I was already pretty good at telling stories, so I just recruited a few friends and started performing shows all over the country. Full disclosure, we had to put this little stage together using whatever wood and cloth we could borrow. It's really low budget. Anyway, we're all good enough at acting to get through the motions, but none of us are any good at coming up with a script. Everything we tried to write just sounded off somehow. So I got a student from the academia to adapt an old story I knew to make it more appealing to our audience. What do you think? Passable?
I could tell that you've had someone tighten up the lines. They turned out very nicely.
Ah, that's good. Well, as you can see, even now, we still don't have much of an audience. Don't suppose you'd be interested to see the rest of the show?
Sure, why not? I don't have anything pressing lined up. And I don't think the Traveler does either. Tickets for 2, please. How much would that be?
There's no need for tickets. You could just get some food from Jafar Tavern. We've worked out an arrangement with them. We've actually found a sponsor for this performance, too. He's not too happy about the poor turnout, though. I doubt we'll be able to keep him for the next performance. A real pity. But what can you do, huh?
Darbil Asgar still hasn't shown up for the next scene. We should get his costume and sword out so they'll be ready to go the moment he gets here.
My apologies. I have to get ready for the upcoming scene. I'll see you from the stage.
Would you two like to order some food? What can I get you? If you're looking for recommendations, today's special is the tandoori roast chicken.
Ah, bear with us a moment. We're just going to take a look at the menu. I was at Port Ormos discussing some business opportunities, and some crook was trying to pull a fast one on me. Darbil took pity on me and politely asked him to make himself scarce. He's a good guy. A decent storyteller, too. Quite an interesting character. There's a lot of fun to be had if you hang around interesting people doing interesting things. Especially if you're in the company of an interesting friend. That's my secret formula for staying in a good mood. Try it out sometime, and you'll see what I mean. Thanks for waiting. We're ready to order now. We'll take you up on that tandoori roast chicken. And let's throw in some desserts, too. 1 each of the rose custard, that talumba, and the patisara pudding, please. That should see us through the show. We've got good seats, close to the stage, but also not too crowded. We can watch the show as we eat. If I remember correctly, the next scene should focus on the prince. But I won't spoil it for you. You have to experience it for yourself. I don't tend to judge a story's worth by my personal affinity for it. But if you want to know my opinion, I'd say it's a fine tale, with a classical flavor that makes it a story for the ages. History always repeats itself. When you keep this in mind and watch out for the echoes of past events in the present, things that appear unfathomable at first glance become much easier to comprehend.
Here you are. The check's on the table, too. Just call me over when you're ready to settle up.
No need. I'll pay up front. Here. Keep the change.
Thank you, sir. Oh, but this is too generous.
Call it a token of my gratitude for the excellent service. The food all smells wonderful, too. So please pass my compliments to the chef.
Thank you so much, sir.
Let's dig in, traveler.
Hey, Kaya. I'm so sorry, but the actor who plays the prince has run into some difficulties and won't be able to make it. We can't do the rest of the show without him, so I'm really, really sorry, but we'll have to call the show right here.
Ooh, that would be fun. I wouldn't say no. Darbil, would you lose any income if I were to mess this up?
Not really. I mean, there's not much of an audience here anyway. I wouldn't want to take too much of your time, though.
Don't worry about that. I like to be spontaneous now and then. Spice things up a little.
Let me think. Well, you already know the story, so you just need to memorize a few lines. Huh, you know what? This might actually work. Ah, wait, but Kubot has a specific costume he's supposed to wear, and there's no way you'd fit into it. Switching actors is one thing, but wearing street clothes on stage would really ruin the immersion. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna work.
Well, good thing that I've actually got a costume with me.
Wait a sec.
It goes pretty well with your stage, too.
You're kidding. Can you show it to me?
Sure. If you can show me the way to your changing room.
It's in the restaurant. Follow me.
Is it the skin? I know it's the skin.
Gotta say, I think I actually look pretty dapper in this. It's a pity I don't have many opportunities to wear it in public. Uh-oh, not a fan of me as a prince? I'll have to act my heart out so you'll be too dazzled to make any digs.
Kaya, here's your script for the next scene. It's not too long, but you also don't have very long to prepare. Do you think you can memorize your lines in time?
Only one way to find out.
Okay, I think we've covered all your lines and movements on stage. You haven't had long to prepare, so don't worry about forgetting your lines. We'll remind you.
All right, I'm good to go.
Great. Then let's get this show on the road.
General Kubot, son of Kabus, the fate of this battle is clear. I beg you, please spare my few remaining men. They no longer have the strength to fight back.
Frosyav, though you now lead only the husk of a once mighty army, I have no desire to crush your dignity. Even your most savage warriors have no desire to see further bloodshed, and none among your ranks have opposed these peace talks. Nevertheless, I must hear it from you one final time. General Frosyav, do you agree to sign a treaty in good faith and commit from this day forth to peace between our nations?
With my army in ruins, I am in no position to do otherwise. But on this, I give you my word. Yes, let us end our hostilities and send our surviving men home to their families.
We share the desire to lay down our arms for good and liberate our hearts from the dirge of hatred. Then as God above is our witness, by the authority vested in me by this intaglio of King Caboose, I hereby declare that I will spare your hostages and what remains of your army. May peace be restored to this land, and may these fields of war become a place where crops grow aplenty. My tutor, Gundafar, has already made haste to my father, the king, with the recommendation of a truce. It is my sincere hope that he will see that peace as a path to prosperity and grant me his blessing.
Prince Kubad, your name is renowned throughout your land and ours. I will place my hope in your words.
One will find on a battlefield no master of ceremonies, nor the paper on which a treaty may be signed. In their absence, let us raise our weapons and swear an oath. I, Kubad, son of Caboose, hereby pledge protection to you and all of your kin. May the oceans be stained red with my blood if I am ever to renounce this oath.
Wow, your friend is so dreamy. He's not a real prince by any chance, is he? Hey, Rashana! You don't want to miss this. The good-looking guy who left that huge tip is acting on stage with Darbel's troupe.
Darbel's one lucky man.
I return, Your Highness. I hope I'm not too late. Have you already promised peace to Frasyov?
Yeah, he's not.
Nay, I am not so rash as to preempt my father's blessing. I promised only what I could so far, the safety of his kin.
My child, I must share with you the gravest news. Caboose has become blinded by fanaticism and hatred, and will stop at nothing to vanquish every last man under Frasyov's lead.
How can this be? You mean to say that my father has rejected our proposal for peace?
He has indeed. I urged him to reconsider, and for this I was rebuked and dismissed from his service. But far stricter punishment than this awaits you, should you return home with your troops. Please heed my warnings, dear child. I dare not imagine what unspeakable atrocities your father intends to commit.
Nay, the truce must stand. I cannot renounce my oath. How can man claim to stand above beast without remaining true to his word? The masses have grown weary of death and conflict, in both our nation and theirs. Are we all now to bend to his will, and massacre countless more to satisfy a desire that is his alone? When I departed my beloved home to fight in a foreign land, I did so to honor his wishes, and for my duty to our people. Alas, is this fate's grand design? Is this fate's grand design?
Kaya, the next line is, alas, is this fate's grand design, that I should spend the rest of my days in a foreign land, till I am laid to rest in a grave far from home?
Must it be so?
Huh? Wait, that's not part of the script.
Kaya, did you not hear me?
My dear audience, I ask you this. Do you believe in fate? If fate decreed that your life was to end in tragedy, what would you do? Oh? Then so must it be. Yes, so must it be. I shall discard this intaglio and rid myself of the shackles of fate.
Wait, but that's not... My dear prince, do you intend to betray your father and abandon your heritage?
Fate means to send the machinations of war to every corner of the land, to fan the flames of conflict till they engulf the entire world. Fate would see my sword tainted with the blood of innocents, that the bright banner of my homeland might fly in every nation known to mankind. But I shall not bow to the will of fate. I am no pawn in Heaven's plan.
Bravo! Where did this guy come from? Is he one of the new hires?
Hey, shut up. Stop interrupting.
I, Kubad, will spend the rest of my days in a foreign land till I breathe my last in a place far from home.
Oh, at least he brought it back in the end.
Prince Kubad, my child, there is no need to be rash. Please bring at least your fortune and the retainers who will always be loyal to you.
Gundafar, my dear mentor, you have always been like a father to me. It brings me only anguish to bid you farewell. But I must walk this path, or freedom dies by my hand. Goodbye, my tribe and kin. Farewell, sweet land of my birth.
Goodbye, my child.
Ooh, it's Prince Kubad. Could I please get your autograph?
Why, certainly, ma'am.
Ooh, thank you. I'll just go find a pen.
Feeling more like a fan now? Acting is quite fun. If there ever came a day when I left the Knights of Favonius, I think I might go into acting full-time.
Darbil, could you introduce me to this young man?
My apologies, Master Toos. I somehow missed you in the crowd earlier.
I was some distance away. I just came over near the end after I noticed a large crowd gathered around the stage. The performance was outstanding across the board. I knew that the poor turnout over the past few days was just bad luck. It was only ever a matter of time before you hit it big. The improvised section was particularly good. I think you could include some improvisation as a staple in future performances. As for the prop he threw, no need to get it back. It's fairly cheap anyway.
Thank you, sir. And a big thanks also to our wonderful prince. Had Kaya not agreed to fill in, he might have disbanded right on the spot.
Kaya, was it? Well, young man, I must say you've made quite the impression on me. My caravan is always loaded with the finest food and wines. You're welcome to visit at any time.
Thank you for the invite, sir, but I'm afraid I've reached the end of my time in Sumeru. I'm sure that my friends and family in Mondstadt must be missing me terribly.
Well then, consider it an open invitation. Once you've been bitten by the travel bug, my friend, you'll be getting itchy feet again before too long. My door is always open. If you're ever interested, please ask Darbil to reach out to me. Darbil, we can continue discussions on the sponsorship once you've wrapped up today's show. I'm going back to the inn.
Thank you so much, Master Toos. I'll see you shortly. Seriously, Kaya, thank you for bailing me out again. You're a good guy. May the gods bless you. You know, you should stay for a few more days. I owe you a meal at the very least.
Darbil, Asgar is back. He lost track of time playing Genius Invocation TCG. You've got to sort him out.
Genius Invocation again? Ah, that does it. The kid's not getting away with it this time. And please excuse me, Kaya. I will be right back.
Sure, there's no rush.
Again.
Okay, I think they're all gone. Let's slip away now while we can. All right, this should be far enough. Don't think they'll find me here. People were starting to expect a lot of things that I didn't sign up for. Besides, the missing actor is back now. Darbil shouldn't be needing me to stand in again. I don't mind socializing, but compared to chatting over food and drink, I much prefer just going wild on the stage. What about you? Did you enjoy the show? Oh? I was expecting a lengthier critique, but you've thrown the question right back at me. Sneaky. All right, I'll rise to your challenge. Let me think. All the world's a stage, and all the people merely players. Does that answer your question? Perhaps there's an inept god out there deciding everyone's fates, much like the academia student drafting Darville's scripts. Yeah, inept is a good word for it. Honestly, it might even be a little too civil to describe a god who turns fathers against their sons and is bent on endless warmongering, don't you think? Anyway, that's exactly why actors need to wake up and realize they don't have to follow the script. There's nothing to stop them from following their gut and making it up as they go along. Oh, my dear traveler, please don't take me too literally. I don't want you to get the wrong idea. The god is just a figure of speech. The real point I'm making is about the actors. Everyone, you and I included, is both an actor and a member of the audience. If you don't like the script, just walk off the stage and join the audience. You always have a choice. A little too obtuse? Well, don't dwell on it. It's nothing worth losing sleep over. I was just thinking aloud. Relax. Be yourself. Do your thing. That's all I'm really trying to say. When I did my little bit of audience interaction back there, you had no time to prepare. You had to just say what you thought in the moment. I think those spontaneous thoughts are often the most authentic. And that's why I liked your answer. You're still holding on to the intaglio I threw you from the stage, right? Keep it. Think of it as a souvenir from my improvised performance. It's been the most fascinating day, hasn't it, little birdie?
Behold!
Okay, apa dia? Save with the salute.